Good Thursday morning to you. We've been looking at how God speaks in the Old Testament, how he used the pillar of a cloud and a fire by night and day for the Hebrew people. Then he talked to Balaam, the prophet, through the voice of a donkey, of a jackass. God spoke to him and saved his life. And then we looked at Moses yesterday about God speaking in and through the burning bush. Well, today we're going to be looking at a different manifestation about how God speaks in the Old Testament on Thursday. Today, in 1 Kings 19 through 12, beginning of verse 12, 19:12, with the prophet Elijah. Elijah was exhausted and spent, and he just felt so despondent. And he was praying to God that God would speak to him and revive him and give him direction. It says, and the thing that he finds so interesting is that God sent, first of all, a strong wind that blew the trees and whistled through the rocks. But God was not in the strong wind. And then God sent an earthquake and the power that moved the entire earth around Elijah. But God was not speaking in the earthquake. And then there came a tremendous fire from heaven. This just was powerful and warm. And then it subsided, but God was not in the fire. And then the strength of the fire. But then there was quietness after all of that. After the strong wind and the earthquake and the fire, there was solitude and peace and quietness. And Elijah found the voice of God. You ready for this? In the still small voice. That God spoke in a still, small voice. The thing I find so interesting is this prepares us for tomorrow on Friday, how God uses the still, small voice of God in our lives today through Elijah. It wasn't in the whirlwind, wasn't in the tornado, wasn't in the hurricane, wasn't in the earthquake. It wasn't in that fiery furnace engulfing everything. It was in the still, small voice, the quietness after everything was past, that God spoke to Elijah. I want you and me to walk in this Thursday and find the still, small voice of God that speaks to us today, because that's where his power is. Pray with me, please. Father, thank you for your love and for your grace and for watching over us and giving us those moments when it appears as if nothing is happening. That's when everything is happening, because that's the still, small voice that you're speaking to us in. Thank you for this Thursday, and may we be embraced by your love. Amen. I'll see you tomorrow on Friday, and we'll look at the New Testament to close the week.